Hello everybody, welcome back to Jordan Golf TV, where we are talking about all things golf. And in today's episode, we're going to be previewing the final major of the year. The Open Championship is upon us at Royal Portrush, and so we're going to look at who might be worth keeping an eye out for come late Sunday afternoon. But I also want to talk a little bit about some of the other golf-related news stories that have been cropping up over the past few days, as well as talk about some of the exciting footwear releases that are going to be coming out to coincide with the events. Right, so let's kick things off by talking about some of the footwear collaborations that are out there and also yet to drop. Starting off with FootJoy, who are teaming up with Harris Tweed to bring out a sort of like woolen inspired pack. There's a couple of pairs. There's the Premier Series Packard and there's also the Premier Series Field. The Packards have the woolen touches running down the tongue as well as down the mid panel there. They feature in a pretty nice eggshell white upper with a little bit of an off-white midsole. Yeah, really clean looking shoe. The Field Series LX features the Harris Tweed wool just around the heel cup. Nice looking package, 230 pounds a piece. These are out there and available right now if you wanted to come up. Also got this Guinness collaboration with Travis Matthews. It's an official collab. There's a whole bunch of special packaging as well as a custom Odyssey head cover. Also have the Puma Golf Limited Edition Royale Single Malts. It's a pretty basic, albeit clean golf shoe. These things are inspired by the distilling traditions around Royal Portrush. 180 bucks, pretty much available in all different places. Some nice subtle branding details. The quality of the materials looks pretty good. But I think the release of the week that most people are pretty excited for, especially one of these shoes out of this pack, is the Nike Golf NRG pack for the Open Championship. Nike always come correct when it comes to the major championship packs. And I feel like this pack is probably the cleanest set from the year, just because the blocking is very wearable. They kind of have the whole sandy, sort of bunkery links vibes about them. Two of these pairs are actually available as I speak to you now. You've got the Air Max 90. You also have the Infinity Tour 2. But I think the shoe that most people are looking forward to and the star of the show has got to be the Victory Tour 4. I mean, these things are clean. They feature a very similar aesthetic to the Justin Timberlakes. That is, they feature the extra panel running around the lower half of the shoe, the sort of mudguard region. They also feature the extra larger swoosh that's sort of stealthily inlaid into the mudguard region, and that little bit of texture and that little bit of contrast definitely helps these things pop. So these things are actually releasing tomorrow on Trendy Golf, as well as some of your other sort of tier 0 golf retailers. And I think those things are going to fly. I even think there's probably going to be a little bit of resale. And if Rory does well at home, and we are going to talk a little bit about Rory's chances later on in the episodes, those things are going to be hot property. So those are some of the shoes releasing this week. It's also been a big week for equipment releases as well. Titleist have dropped the T-Series irons for 2025. There's a next-gen T100, T150, T350, and all new T250s, which are out there available now for pre-order as well as fittings. And they weren't the only ones to bring out a pretty good-looking club this week. TaylorMade also brought out the PUDI Bomber 1 iron, and these things sold out pretty quickly, man. This was a limited edition club inspired by the vintage 1940s aircrafts with a bomber jacket, head cover to match. Some people out there were raving more about the head cover than the actual iron itself. I mean, the design of the iron is just super clean. This is a club that I would have liked to have gotten into the bag, to be fair, just almost for the aesthetics. My ability to hit this would not be high, but it just looks so good. 250 quids, and yeah, these things sold out pretty quick. You guys might have also seen Callaway really made the Happy Gilmore putter, which is crazy, 500 USD. These things have sold out and gone on to resell for crazy money. Got the Happy Gilmore hockey sock head cover. The setup looks pretty crazy. The grip, I mean, yeah, they went to town with this. I mean, look at the top-down view. Looks pretty wild. But yeah, these things have sold out, they've resold, and I guess what you're seeing now is this trend where the equipment companies are coming out with these limited edition runs, a little bit like we see with fashion labels and with sneakers and with cards and whatever, and it's kind of having the limited edition kits in the bag is low-key one of the big flexes on the course at the moment. But obviously that just piles the pressure on as to whether or not you can actually use this stuff or not. Right, so before we move into the preview of the Open Championship, let's talk about this story here that has crept up over the past day, and it surrounds or involves Grant Horvat, the most successful golf content creator online. Bro has been absolutely smashing it over the past couple of years. He has turned down the opportunity to play in a PGA Tour event because due to the like ironclad rules that the PGA have around like filming, they didn't want to grant access to his film crew inside the ropes in order to film him during the tournament. And this has sparked so much debate online. There have been so many people really quick to jump on the hate bandwagon. A lot of people say he wouldn't have even made the cuts anyway. But when you think about it, man, this guy's whole thing is YouTube golf. Playing in a PGA Tour event, if he can't post it on YouTube, is just like defeating the whole purpose, because the YouTube golf is what got him the sponsor's invite in the first place. So yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that YouTube golf can get you into a PGA tournament, but if you can't film the golf you're playing in the PGA tournament for content, then what is even the point? To quote Scotty Scheffler in recent times. So yeah, what do you guys think about this? I think Horvat's completely well within his rights. I think his presence at that event would have definitely helped the ratings. Maybe it's the start of a conversation between the PGA Tour and these content creators to see how they can start to boost the game in a more collaborative fashion, bringing together the professional and the amateur side of golf in a more like cohesive way. I don't know, but yeah, I thought this was a very interesting story, and it will be interesting to see where it goes further down the line. Rightio, let's preview the Open. Quick breakdown. It's at Royal Portrush. This tournament was last year in 2019. Where Shane Lowry won that tournament. You guys might remember, super emotional given he is a hometown boy. You guys remember Rory McIlroy back in 2019 got off to a disastrous start on the first hole, drawing it out of bounds. He started off with, I think it was a 7 on the first hole. He shot like a 79 in the first round. He came back with a 65 to finish like just outside the cut line. But yeah, it's a wicked venue, beautiful course, amazing layout. The weather conditions are set to be rainy pretty much every day, meaning the conditions are going to be a little bit spicy. And yeah, the wind is going to be up and down and around. So this is one of those types of tournaments that you've got to feel is going to suit a links experienced player. But if we go through Sky Sports' favorites, obviously the top banana, Scotty Scheffler, is the favorite. I think 9-2 odds, something like that, followed by world number 2, Rory McIlroy, who's been in good form, coming second at the Scottish Open last week and seeming like he's got a little bit of bounce back in his step again. Xander Schauffele, the defending champion, he hasn't been like at his best this year, but he's still obviously a proven British Open winner after that impressive win last year. Jon Rahm has been in form again. He's been getting his mojo back after having a little bit of a dip in form after moving over to the Live Tour. So he's definitely in the conversation. Bryson DeChambeau, with his higher ball flights, it's difficult to see him adjusting really quickly to the windy links conditions where you need to kind of like keep the ball a little bit lower and move it around a little bit. But he's in such great form in general. He can't be out of the conversation either. Tommy Fleetwood, coming off a heartbreaking loss a few weeks ago, but definitely having his name back in the mix, is someone that could be worth a bit of a shout. And then obviously you also have someone like Shane Lowry as well. So those, according to the Sky Sports poll, are the top bananas to look out for, with McIlroy. He's got 27% of the votes. Then the next favorite is Fleetwood. Obviously a lot of people think that close call he had recently could be really spurring him on. That would be great to see. So a lot of people out there are banking on, yeah, a UK or an EU person to do the damage. The last time an Englishman won the Open was Nick Faldo back in 1992. So yeah, the English have been waiting for someone to show up. So yeah, who else could be out there? Well, I actually have a bit of a hot take. I feel like I've got 2 hot takes actually. I feel like Tyrrell Hatton is going to be one to look out for, and red hot take, Ryan Fox, the Kiwi from New Zealand, who has been in really good form this year and does have a good game about him at the moment. So yeah, apart from some of those big, like unsurprising favorites, I'm backing Hatton or I'm backing Ryan Fox. Who have you guys got for the Open this week? Feel free to drop your predictions down below. And that is about going to wrap us up for today's episode. Thanks you guys so much for watching. Thank you for messing with the channel. I'd appreciate it if you liked the video before you bounce, and enjoy the rest of your day. I will be back later on in the week to do a follow-up video recapping the major and seeing how our predictions panned out. So I'll see you then. Take care for now, and peace.